G'day guys, Skits here, and today I've got some Guild Wars 2 beta footage. This is very, very old gameplay. I think this is the first beta weekend back in, I think it was March or something, late March, so it's quite old, but this is some gameplay of my Char Warrior, who unfortunately is now wiped off the servers. But the reason I'm making this video is because the release of Guild Wars 2 is very, very near. It's about, I think, about a week until I can finally get my hands on the game. I still don't know what race and profession I'm going to be playing as a main. Probably like a Norn Warrior or like a Asura Elementalist. I'm really not sure though, because really the game offers a lot of variety in it. It really is. I'm really excited for this game. You know, I can't wait for it. You know, just looking at this gameplay should give you guys an idea of how awesome this game really is. I'm just going to be sort of talking about the game, literally just talking about the game, nearly like a review, sort of preview sort of thing. Obviously, it's still in its sort of early stages, I suppose you could say. There's a lot to go through in this video. I won't probably get it all done, but yeah, it's still in its beta stages, so if you see little glitches or something here and there, then you'll know why. But I'm going to be doing plenty of Guild Wars 2 videos when the game is actually out. But more sort of like tutorials and guides and sort of like jumping puzzles and more sort of entertaining stuff, rather than like my actual thoughts on the game. This is probably going to be one of my last videos where I just talk about the game, what I think of it and stuff. Obviously, Guild Wars 2 has been in production, I think, since 2006 or 7, so it's been in production for nearly 6 years or so. So it's, you know, they really have, you know, let it. You know, they've took their time making it, which is great. A lot of people thought it was going to be released in like 2010, but you know, finally it's going to be released in about, I think about 14 days or something along those lines. No, I think it's like 8 days, sorry. So yeah, I really can't wait. I've been waiting since 2007. I've been like, you know, going on Wikipedia, looking about, you know, researching stuff about this game and all that kind of stuff. Let me know if you guys want to see more Guild Wars 2, and without any further ado, let's actually get started into what I want to talk about. Alright guys, so the first thing I wanted to talk about, and this is the first thing you'll notice when you jump into the game, and obviously it's the creation of the character, so character creation basically. Now, every sort of character has their own personal story. I'm not going to go into this too much because I'm sure a lot of you Guild Wars 2 fans know about this. If you don't, basically it's sort of a bit more of a RPG-ish MMO, I suppose you could say, in the way that your actual character has its own personal story, which you can customize at the start. There's a lot of awesome customization, a lot of professions and races to choose from. You've got the Norn, the Asura, the Human, the Char, and the Sylvari. They're all really cool, diverse, different races, and then you've got 8 different professions to choose from. So there's a lot of diversity and variety to use in this game. Every profession can play a different role as well. It's not like one profession is a tank or a healer. All professions have, you know, different role. All professions can sort of do their own thing to some extent, which is really awesome. The next thing I want to talk about is the heart system, or the sort of basically how quests work in Guild Wars 2. So basically, when you finish the tutorial level, which I got a bit to talk about the tutorial level. I'll talk about it after this, and I'm not too happy about what they've done with it, but I'll talk about it a bit later on. So yeah, once you've done with the tutorial level, you go into the sort of open world, and you can really, you know, do whatever you want. And unlike the original Guild Wars, it's actually a proper MMO, you know. You don't have to party up even. You can really just play with people. It really encourages you to play with people, like other people that you just meet in the world, which is great. You know, I really like that. So yeah, basically the heart system. So you go around in the world, and you see these sort of hearts around the place in your like level zone, wherever you are, and they're sort of like these little quests. And there's lots of different ways to complete them. You can, you know, you can go with mates and do things. You can generally there's lots of different ways to complete them. You know, you can either kill things, collect things, and do all sorts of different things. And on the way, you generally find dynamic events, and it's really non-linear the way it works. It's not just like a straight line where it's like collect 10 copper, bronze, and give them to me after. Sort of like WoW. And I don't want to bag out WoW because I loved WoW, I'm not going to lie, but obviously now I think it's outdated. I think Guild Wars 2 is the sort of step in the right direction in the MMO genre. But yeah, so basically you can discover dynamic events, which are random events that are happening in the world, and anyone can get involved. That's the great thing about Guild Wars 2. It just encourages people to get involved, and it's really great in that way. You know, if you wanted to get involved with some random person who's in that area, then you can basically do that, you know. So you can play with heaps of different people, and you'll all get the same rewards, which is really good. So yeah, I wanted to quickly go on about the tutorials. So I love the way it works. I think it's a I guess it's just a good idea and whatnot to get the sort of newbies into the game and get an idea of what the game's like. But if I wanted to make another char after that char, sorry, let me just repeat that. So I finished the tutorial level and I want to make another character, another race that I've already done that tutorial level in. I find the tutorial level just gets really, really boring, and it just feels like you've already done it. And the thing about Guild Wars 2 is you should never feel that way. Like, throughout most of the game, you don't feel that way. But the one thing that you do, the one time you do feel that way is in the tutorial level. So yeah, I wish they sort of could make it a little bit different in that way, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything they could do to change that. But I don't know. I think they could definitely have fixed upon the tutorial level. But the way loot works is very simple as well. You get your own loot, which is great. There's obviously these dungeons. I don't want to go on about this too much, because you can really just go on the website and have a look for yourself if you're interested at this point. But yeah, there's basically dungeons, explorable mode, and story mode. Explorable mode is more like your sort of WoW dungeons, where you can just sort of get experience, get loot and whatnot. But you're not grinding or anything. It's not like it's a massive grind. And the enemies aren't like overpowered or anything. It doesn't take ages to kill them like it does in WoW. And there's no tanks and stuff like that, so you don't feel as though you have to do a certain thing or else you'll get kicked or something. So you know, you can have a full party of rangers and you'll be able to do well. So that's the thing I like about it. So yeah, the story mode is sort of more, it sort of follows a storyline, and the Guild Wars 2 storyline is very interesting and in-depth. If you've played Guild Wars 1, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even if you haven't, you'll still understand what it's kind of going on about. And obviously with your own character, you get this sort of personal story that you can play while you're doing your own thing in Guild Wars 2. So that's really good as well. There's a lot of different ways to play through Guild Wars 2. You know, you don't only have to play solo, or you don't only have to play with mates. You can basically finish the whole game solo if you wanted to. Or not finish it, because you can't really finish it, so to speak. And in terms of endgame content, this is something that I'm a little bit skeptical about, because they haven't showed us any endgame content, which is fair enough. Obviously, they don't want to, you know, give us any sort of information that they don't, you know, I think it would be a bit ridiculous if they started showing us content from the end game. It would sort of just spoil the excitement for the actual release. But the thing is, they haven't showed any level 80 content, which is obviously the level cap. And it just makes me wonder, you know, if the sort of game can really get that replayable value. Like, I guess World of Warcraft did that pretty well. Like, when you did hit level 80 or whatever the cap was, you could sort of still do a lot of different things, and I just hope that's the same way in Guild Wars 2. Obviously, in Guild Wars 2, when you are done, you can, you know, revisit areas because of the scaling down system. You scale down to a level of that area, which is really cool. You can play PvP, you can play World v World. There's a lot of different things you can do. So I don't think that'll be an issue. I really hope it's not an issue personally, but we'll have to just wait and see. The next thing I want to talk about is the sort of combat. Firstly, underwater combat. I found this to be a little bit, I don't like it, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a massive fan. I know I'm not the only person that said this. The reason I say this is because I find that you're a bit sort of, you don't feel as though you're in control of your character very well. I know that might sound a bit silly, because you really are, but you just, I don't know, I don't like the way you're sort of balancing, and there's just the way the combat works underwater. I was hoping it would be much better, but it isn't that good, and I don't think it's going to play a huge part in Guild Wars 2, or at least not as big as a part as I did think originally it was going to play as. Nonetheless, you know, it's still really cool, and the way it works is, like, cool, and it's visually very impressive, so it's still, I'm still happy that it's in the game. I'm not saying it's really bad or anything, it's just, I just prefer land combat. Speaking of land combat, I love the way in Guild Wars 2, and this is very good about Guild Wars 2 compared to World of Warcraft, is you're not just standing there casting, you can actually move around while you're casting, especially as an elementalist. I noticed this. All professions can use different weapons and whatnot, so they have a lot of different diversity, and because of that, you can really, you know, each character can play out really differently, and you don't have to just sit there, you know, smashing, you know, the enemy. You can actually run around, and, you know, it takes a lot of skill. You have to dodge and whatnot, so it does take a lot of skill compared to a lot of other MMOs, and it's not exactly an easy game, especially when you first start out. But yeah, in general, I'm really enjoying this game. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good, and it's definitely exceeded my expectations. Obviously, I don't know if a lot of you guys are MMO fans, because a lot of my subscribers probably aren't. It's not like I'm going to be only uploading Guild Wars 2, but I really want to be doing a lot of Guild Wars 2 footage in the next few weeks. Obviously, I will still be doing other games and stuff like that. But, you know, all professions have a lot of different diversity, which is great. All races are very different and unique in their own way. The visuals are amazing. They're fantastic. You can do a lot of things that, you know, we wished you could have done, like a lot of good MMOs. They've taken a lot of good things from games like World of Warcraft and made their own little things like dynamic events and just made it a really good balanced MMO. Now to go into a bit of the specific stuff. The music is fantastic. Jeremy Soule, he did a lot of Skyrim music, I believe. He's just really good, you know. His music is just fantastic and it sounds great. And that's just really good thing about the game, is the music is great. You don't often notice it that much, but when you actually really think about it, the music is fantastic. The art and the graphics are just fantastic in this game. One thing you might notice is, or I noticed this in the betas, I don't think this is going to be like this in release, but the graphics, the frame rate just dropped completely, and that was really annoying because I'm pretty sure the game doesn't run on your GPU, instead it runs on your CPU. A lot of you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about here, but I'm pretty sure it basically means that it doesn't matter if your graphics card is amazing, it means your CPU has to be really good. So that's one thing that is a bit frustrating for me. But you know, Guild Wars 2 offers a lot of freedom and exploration, and, you know, rewards players for exploring and stuff like that. And that's, once again, a fantastic thing about this game, and that's something that not a lot of MMOs do. You know, you can obviously do jumping puzzles, which are just random sort of puzzles that you find in the world, which is awesome, really, and really spectacular. And obviously, the last thing is it's free to play. Guys, come on. That is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people like actually really tended to buy this game. People that aren't even fans of this game are so tempted, just because it's a free to play and it's got so much content within it. So there's a lot of things to do. It's going to be an awesome game. I'm really excited for it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this video, and if you're excited for Guild Wars 2 and if you're getting it, and let me know what profession and race you're going to be. I don't know what server I'm going to be on at the moment, but I will in due time probably tell you guys what server I'm going to be playing on, and all that sort of stuff. So huge thanks for watching this video, guys. I know it's quite long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely check out Guild Wars 2 if you've never seen it before. It's really going to be an awesome game. It's going to be released on the 28th of August, and I'm really excited for it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.